I realize.
All right, Kahalal, La Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone that rule well, who we learn the truth from. And salutations unto the brothers and few sisters that take heed. Okay, we're just gonna get into open forum, whatever the spirit brings out. Um, One thing I wanted to bring up, I don't know if you heard that YouTube active shooter at the YouTube headquarters,
Um,
and I think it's what is it, California, right? So basically, they someone ran up in the headquarters and shot up the place, and there's three, how much is it? One person dead, multiple people injured, and that basically, come on, the YouTube headquarters, man. Man, it was just like 2, 3 shots. It's like it. And then like just on the site, but yeah, this is from like CNN, right? So it says female shooter at YouTube headquarters dead, 3 others wounded, and these moves are being made, to basically, we know the ultimate goal is the famine of the word, you know, but that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing, because all that means is you scoffers, you're finished, man. You scoffers and the door being closed. You know, if you have a scripture, you can bring it out.
word. This is Amos 8:11. Says, behold, the days come, saith the Lord power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but hearing the word, and they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east, and they shall run to and fro to seek the word of Yahweh, and shall not find it.
Con, and these people, they're gonna literally be running up and down, man, bugging up. You know, you people are gonna be going to Islam, to Buddhism, to whatever philosophy that sounds good, or or you heard of, and then there's gonna come a point in time where you're gonna say, hold on, what about those guys on the corner? What were they saying? You might go to that spot where we were, we're not there. You might go on the website, there's nothing up. They took everything down. So there's gonna come a literal famine of the word, and people that are in the fold right now, the only thing that's gonna come for you is what you've learned already. What you've practiced, and you know, basically what you know. Because there's gonna be no more videos. You might have your notes and whatnot, but as new information, that the Lord's gonna cut that off. You know?
That's
Go
right.
ahead.
Um, the add to the what you were saying is basically the flood's coming, man, and that ark is pretty much built. The only thing left is to shut the door, you know, and you're seeing the rain. You guys are starting to see the rain come down, and once it starts storming, man, and starting to flood, that's when you guys are gonna try and jump on the ship, man. You know,
Come.
this is Jeremiah 11:9. It says, "And Yahweh said
Yeah,
unto
break that down. One second.
you, say, hey, are you there?
Yeah, break it down. I'm just gonna add the brother in.
Fine. Jeremiah 11:9. And Yahweh said unto me, a conspiracy is found among the men of Judah and among the inhabitants of Jerusalem. They are turned back to the iniquities of their forefathers, which refused to hear my words. They went after other gods to serve them. The house of Israel and the house of Judah have broken my covenant with their fathers. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh, behold, I will bring evil upon them, which they shall not be able to escape. And though they cry unto me, I will not hearken unto them. And that's exactly what's coming to the society. A great evil is coming to you guys, and you won't have the word to cry upon, man. You won't have that comforter in those times. Because at the same time, the same people who are coming down on you, Esau, is the same person you've been crying for years. You weren't taking heed to the prophets. You had the liberty, and then when your liberty is gone, and you're now stuck to run and survive on your own, no government assistance. You don't have your social media to make you feel nice. You're gonna run up and down seeking salvation. You know, and that those times that will only be up.
Oh boy.
Shalom, Mark. Did you hear it?
Hold on, Mark. I don't.
Hold on.
I don't think you can hear us.
Yeah, more. It says verse 12. Then shall the cities of Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem go and cry unto the gods unto whom they offer incense, but they shall not save them at all in the time of
Hey,
their.
that's Jesus. That's wrong. You know, that's whatever God that you worship. You're gonna be burning up incense and all that shit, but they're not gonna answer, man.
Hey, that's like of they're gonna be doing what Ezekiel. Remember, was it Ezekiel when he's like, oh, cry unto your God, and then he split the meat. And he said, your God's real. Basically, tell him to cast fire upon it. It was like a test.
It was Elijah.
Elijah, Salakia. He's making fun of him. Making fun of them. Where's your God? You must be.
He said, "Don't should be sleeping or in a battle." You know?
At these times, man, because at that point, that's where the whole proven factor is going to be made, man. When our power is crushing you, we're going to be looking at you like, so where's your power at, though? Like, I thought he was real. Why ain't he coming to save you right now? All hell's breaking loose. Shit, you're seeing your brothers, your sisters getting shot and flying across the street. Bombs are being dropped on buildings, man, and you're sitting there to your power, and your power just gonna sit back and just allow you guys to be destroyed, man. You guys gonna be looking like a laughing stock at that time, man.
That's right, man.
It says
what chapter?
Jeremiah 11 and verse 12. It says, I'm gonna go. I'll go read to verse 14. It says, for according to the number of thy cities were thy gods, O Judah, and according to the number of streets of
Jerusalem. That's a lot of gods, man.
Hey, that goes back to them churches, because where do you see churches are like on every street, man, side by side. You actually have churches across from each other competing against each other. That shows you. It says, for according to the number of thy cities were thy gods, O Judah, and according to the number of the streets of Jerusalem, have you set up altars to that shameful thing, even altars to burn incense unto Baal. And it says, therefore, pray not for this people, either lift up cry or prayer for them, for I will not hear them in the time that they cry unto me for their trouble. And that's what the brother was going into, because when you guys are you're crying, and when you guys are actually trying to throw up prayers, the Most High said he's not going to hear you. Why? Because when he wanted you to pray unto him, when you guys didn't have the trouble, you guys forsake him. You turned your back to him. You didn't want to hear nothing because you were living in delight. You actually believed that the Most High was with you and blessing all your habitation, not knowing that it was actually a curse unto you, man. All right, you were taking the blessings from Esau. Okay, so guess what? You have to share his destruction as well. Shalom, Mark. Yeah, that was it that I had on that.
And 15, it says, because my people have forgotten me, they have burned incense to vanity, and they have caused them to stumble in their ways from the ancient paths, to walk in paths in a way not cast up. And our ancient paths are in the scriptures, man. And our people don't want to walk those ancient ways. They want to do what either Esau tells them to do or what they think to do. Which basically just goes back to Esau. Do what thou wilt. Right? Verse 16, to make their land desolate and a perpetual hissing. Everyone that passeth by shall be astonished and wag his head. Meaning SMH, shake my head. And that's what people do when they think of blacks, Latinos, Native Americans. Bro. They just shake their head, you know, because the example is going World Star Hip Hop, man.
Right.
You know, that's what people see, and that's what people associate Jake with, you know, or with, you know. But that's prophecy anyway, because it says in Deuteronomy 28, "Thou shalt become a punishment, a proverb, a byword."
Mm-hmm.
Verse 17, "I will scatter them as with an east wind before the enemy. I will show them the back and not the face in the day of their calamity."
Mm.
So the Lord's going to turn his back on you, man. And that's a beautiful thing you brought out about, I forgot how you worded it, about how in that time is going to be, you know, proven who the power is. You know, it's going to be like a test, like in the time of Elijah with Baal. But guess what? When you find out who the power is, you can't join that side. It's too late. Oh yeah, okay, you guys. Yeah, that's what it says in Isaiah, not Isaiah, Psalms 110, that people shall be willing in the day of thy power. But guess what? The Lord's gonna close his door, because we just read it. He's gonna turn his back and not the face in the day of your calamity, right? Verse 18, and this is how wicked the Jakes were, and their wickedness is multiplied tenfold. Then said they, "Come and let us divide the devices against Jeremiah, for the law shall not perish from the priest, nor counsel from the wise, nor the word from the prophet. Come and let us smite him with the tongue, and let us not give heed to any of his words." And this is where you people go wrong, because this is not our words, man. You know, just how these wicked ass niggas looked at Jeremiah, Isaiah, Elijah, all the ancient prophets, you know, as if it was their word. But the prophets came to stir division, and the Lord likes division, you know, because all those times the prophets came, if you notice, the priests and the upper echelon of Israel, they were set in a mode. You know, they had the priests, they had the sacrifices, everything was set up, so they thought they were good, you know. But then here comes the prophets, rain on your parade. You know, they say, "No, you guys are going off. You guys are a bunch of wicked ass niggas. You guys got to repent." And they say, "No, you know, we're not going to listen to you. You know, we're doing the same thing.
Right.
We're telling you, Jakes, you can't worship or celebrate Christmas, Easter, Caravana, all this madness. That's not your culture. That's not your nationality." And what does Jake do? You know, they smite us with their tongue, right? Verse 19. Come on.
Yeah.
Verse 19, "Give heed to me, O Yahweh, and hearken to the voice of them that contend with me." So Jay contend with it, right? Verse 20, "Shall evil be recompense for good? For they have digged a pit for my soul. Remember that I stood before thee to speak good for them, and to turn away thy wrath from them. Therefore deliver up their children to the famine, and pour out their blood by the force of the sword." That's a heavy curse, man. That's Jeremiah cursing the 2/3, man. You know, "And let their wives be bereaved of their children," meaning their children die, "and be widows, and let their men be put to death." So this is Jeremiah cursing the 2/3. So when you had Israelites, past Israelite flunkies talk about you can't curse Jacob, this is proof right here. All right. "Let their young men be slain by the sword in battle. Let a cry be heard from their houses." This sounds like a prayer for Edomites, man, but he's praying against Jake. "And thou shalt bring a troop suddenly upon him." That troop is coming, man. The fucking Gurkha troops, the UN troops, the martial law troops, they're coming, man. All right? They're coming, right? "For they have digged a pit to take me and hid snares from their feet. Yet Yahweh, thou knowest all their counsel against me to slay me. Forgive not their iniquity, neither blot out their sin from thy sight, but let them be overthrown before thee. Deal thus with them in the time of thine anger." That's beautiful, man. And that's how we feel, man. All you jakes that come up and talk your shit, you know, like that simple ass fucking idiot on Instagram who came up last summer trying to make a comedy show out of the highways. I hope that comes upon him, man, and his family. You know.
I got a precept. They are.
That was it.
That's it. I have a precept to back you up. This is Jeremiah 16. I'm gonna start at 15. They were they ashamed when they had committed abomination? Nay, they were not at all ashamed, neither blush. Therefore they shall fall among them that fall at the time that I visit them. They shall be cast down, saith Yahweh Shem Shai. And that's you 2/3 Jakes, man, because you Jakes are not ashamed of anything that you do. You guys are not. After camp, I was on the train, man, and I saw a Jake in high heels. Jake man, in high heels, lipstick, and weave hair, man, straight weave hair, man. Man looked like a buggo. Yo, and I legit tried to walk down the train, and this man followed me down the train, man. Comes to show you, like, Jake is on a whole nother level of bug the fuck out, man. Right? That's why he says that.
This is Sodom and Gomorrah, man. And the Spirit made me say this a while back, that you're gonna have men start raping other men. All right, you're gonna have big dudes going around and raping men, because that's the same shit they were doing in Sodom and Gomorrah. That's why the Lord had to rain fire upon that fucking place, man. You have a fucking 250-pound bearded man fucking another man. What kind of shit is that, man? You know, the Lord's gonna rain judgment.
Right. It says, verse 16, thus saith Yahweh, stand ye in the ways and see and ask for the old path. Select your old path, where is the good way, and walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls. But they said, we will not walk therein. Also, I set watchmen over you, saying, hearken to the sound of the trumpet. But they said, we will not hearken. And we are giving you the sound of the trumpet, that alarm, saying, look, yo, there's danger coming, man. There's destruction coming. You guys need to fix up and get right. Imagine if they alarm for a nuke coming over here half an hour before and say everyone evacuate, and everyone said, fun it. I'm gonna stay right here. I'm gonna party a little bit more. I don't care. It's probably they're probably just making it up until you see those missiles in the sky and you hear that sound going coming down upon you. You know, that's when you guys are gonna try to evacuate, but they already warned you a half an hour before to get out of the city, man. That's what we're doing. We're warning you basically to get right before you get toppled. All right? But most of y'all just want to keep partying. You guys want to keep doing what you do. You guys want to keep speaking against the Lord, thinking that is funny. Okay? Until those missiles and the chariots show up at your doorstep. Then that's when you want to try and switch sides, like the ox said, but Moses is not going to take you. All right. It said, therefore, hear ye nations, and know, O congregation, what is among them. Hear, O earth, behold, I will bring evil upon this people, even the fruit of their thoughts, because they have not hearkened unto my words, nor to my law, but rejected it. And the great evil man is going to be this martial law that's going to come into play, along with the sighting of the chariots, man, and seeing the angels. The angels are going to be doing a lot of killing as well. And the elect men, whoever they are, they're going to be doing a lot of killing as well, man. The Most High basically bringing overkill to this place. Complete overkill.
Well, it says that the blood shall go up and kill the horse's bridle.
Right.
The bridle be the like the saddle, right? That could be what? That could be 7 feet, 8 feet. You know, it's a lot of blood, man.
Right.
I got a precept. This is Amos chapter 9, verse 9. For lo, I will command and I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as corn is sifted in a sieve, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say, the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. And you know, the Lord, he's doing Yahweh Shem Yahushai, he's sifting the house of Israel. You know, as they party and as they joke around, the Lord is raising up his government right now as we speak. You know, and that's composed of the elect, the 144,000, and the 1/3, and those elect members of the parliament of the nation of Israel. they're sighing and crying. They're not in that spirit of mirth, you know. And the people who our nation, the 2/3, they're all gonna die by the sword, like what the brothers are talking about the nuclear missiles, man. Because why? They transgress the laws and they don't hearken onto the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. And then they mock the prophets, right? Verse 11, it says, "In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old." That's why you have, you have the tribes against one another right now, but the Lord is getting rid of that division. Yeah, he likes division, but he's going to get rid of the division amongst the righteous, because you still have a little bit of tensions, even among certain tribes, even if they are, brotherly, you still have those tensions a little bit, but the Lord is going to eventually get rid of all of that, and yeah, man, that's all I got from that.
I got a precept because you said that. This is Jeremiah chapter 32, verse 37. It says, "Behold, I will gather them out of all countries, whether I have driven them in my anger and in my fury and in great wrath, and I will bring them again into one place, and I will cast them to dwell safely. And they shall be my people, and I will be their power. I will give them one mind and one way, that they may fear me forever, for the good of them and of their children after them." And that's the most I taken out that division, because even, and I made a video about this earlier, even among Israelites that know who they are, we're not of one mind yet. You still have GOCC talking their garbage, IUIC talking their garbage, ISUBK talking their garbage, which is not according to the scriptures, man. So right now, we're not in one mind, man. The Most has division among us right now, because you have people speaking blasphemy and speaking lies on the scriptures, and then you have the men speaking the truth. All right? But eventually in the kingdom, after this whole destruction takes place and the 2/3 have to go and die and then come back over, we're all going to be in that one mind of how we should be, not one way.
Really, even have brothers in the business, man, coming into the truth, and they bring in that BS mentality as well, man. Like a man in the world, he might have had a problem with Latin tribes or Judite tribes, and he understands that they're brothers, but his past experiences might hinder him from fully accepting his brothers, man. He may still have a few hinges and a few knots, so to speak, dealing with those tribes. All those guys, yeah, they're this and they're that. Listen, we're all wicked, man. We're all pieces of shit that the Lord brought to the table, and Lord's will, we get a clean slate. So guess what? We gotta just completely be empty, man. Like Bruce Lee, empty yourself, right? So you gotta empty and completely just be in unity with your brothers,
That was it.
God. I had what is that? So something you were talking about earlier about the prophets. This is Hosea 9. No, Hosea 8. No, Salakia, 1 second. I just had it. Okay, yeah, Hosea 9, verse 7. Right, it says, "The days of visitation will come, the days of recompense are come, Israel shall know it." Right? And what does that mean? That's the days that are coming, approaching, right? Or the hell breaking loose. "The prophet is a fool, the spiritual man is mad, for the multitude of thine iniquity and the great hatred." Because there was great hatred amongst the tribes before Esau came on this side of the world, and there's still great hatred among the tribes. Verse 8, "The watchman of Ephraim was with my power." So those are the prophets. They were with the Most High, but the prophet is a snare of a fowler in all his ways, and hatred in the house of his power. They have deeply corrupted themselves as in the days of Gibeah. Therefore, he will remember their iniquity. He will visit their sin. Okay? So, just like when you watch that movie Apocalypto, that's great hatred and that's deeply corrupting themselves, dude. You know, because they would kill each other amongst other tribes. They would hate each other, you know, until when they see the ships, the Spaniard, the conquistadors coming, and they said, "Oh shit," and that was it. You know, and the same thing is happening again, man. It's gonna happen again. All right, that was it.
You read that last verse again?
Go on, it says verse 9. It says, they have deeply corrupted themselves as in the days of Gibeah. Therefore, he will remember their iniquity. He will visit their sin.
Yeah, and that's exactly what the Most is gonna do at when he comes, man. When he visits, right now he is visiting, where he's destroying economies. You know, he's destroying the dollar. You guys worship and rely so heavily on as if it's some kind of
in Venezuela, man.
Yeah, time. It's only just
the Lord's bringing hell to that place.
Yeah, that's nothing crazy. This is Second Ezra chapter 9, verse 1. It says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time vigilantly in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that this is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and upwards of the people in the world, then shalt thou understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. And that's how we understand what time we're in, man. A lot of people just think that it's just a moment in time and things are going to get better, man. We understand that these are the signs that the Most High gave. He said the upwards of the people. Look at everybody fighting against the president, man. People hate Trump. You got the media against Trump. You got people walking up and down. There's been more riots, more rallies in this year alone than any presidency ever, man. You have women's rights, feminists roaring, Black Lives Matter roaring. You got cops standing up for the cops killing, man. There's so much stuff happening and going on in the world that you can't deny that all these things are happening. Now, what the Ox said, is shooting up in YouTube, you know, YouTube's headquarters. That's showing you that like we said earlier, that famine of the word, man. Everything is coming to play where they're just gonna shut everything down, man. And all these are signs leading up to that great day of destruction. You know.
I got a precept just to back that up. This is Second Ezra, chapter 6, verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first, and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. And that's what everybody's waiting for, you know, or throughout every generation. It doesn't matter who you are. Everybody wants to know the future. And, you know, the elect, we have the future in our hands. We're holding it. And we know what's going to happen. But the only thing is that, you know, you got Israel. They don't want to wait. You know, they don't want to be patient. They don't want to suffer for the prophecy to pass. Right. But reading on, it says, and he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. And that's going into the dominion that Jacob, or Yaakov, the nation of Israel, is going to have dominion over Esau in the upcoming future. All right. So what does that mean? That means that Esau, you're going into slavery, and Jake, whether you like it or not, you're going to be ruling under Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And it says, verse 9, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So it's telling you that your rulership, Esau, this is the last wicked rulership that's going to be on the planet Earth. Okay, you're the end of your world is going to end, and our world is going to begin. So that means righteousness is going to prevail forever and ever in an everlasting kingdom, right? And it says, the hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand. Other question Ezra asked thou not, and that was it. That was it.
a lot of people don't understand really what the Most High really means by end. So I got the end in the etymology, and it says here to end, finish, abolish, destroy, come to an end, die. And that's what you're really seeing. You're seeing a kingdom die. You're seeing a power structure that no one thought could ever get out of power die. And you're seeing people who you think were nothing rise back up in power. That shows that the Most High is all powerful when he can take a nation that you don't think could do anything and put them at the highest statue that you've ever seen in your life and destroy a kingdom that you thought could not be touched. And the Most High has done that ever since the Egyptians, man. Even before that. You know, the Egyptians were great in power at one time, thought no one could touch them, no one could bring them down. And then what did the Most High do, man? He saved Israel, destroyed the kingdom, and what? That brought fear to the four corners of the earth. The Most High is going to do it again. But this time it's going to be even more fearful because this is a beast with the highest technology, the most advanced weaponry, the power to annihilate a whole country with its nuclear power. And then you come and see something else destroy that. That alone would be like, oh shoot, bro! Like, what were we doing, man? You know. I have more of this here because you mentioned the end too. It says 2 Ezra 9:5. It says, "For like as all that is made in the world has a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest." And now you're seeing, man, the end is manifest before your eyes. You know, it says, "Even so, the time also of the highest have planned, have plain beginnings in wonder and powerful works, and endings in effects and signs." It says, "And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith, whereby ye have believed." And this is talking to the elect because we believe in the destruction of America. Okay? We believe that hopefully that we can be saved out of America. Okay, it says, "Shall be preserved from the said perils, which is the famine, the armies, the beasts coming, you know, and total destruction." It says, "And shall see my salvation in my land and within my borders, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning." So this isn't a thing of your choice. Whoever is supposed to be saved was sanctified to be saved from the very beginning. Who was meant to perish along with this society was made to perish with this society from the beginning. And you can see it by really the manifestation. And if you don't believe that what is going on is going to be a total rock down or a downhill for America, you are in a heavy, deep sleep, man. And that's all I had.
I got the word manifest. Adjective, late 14th century, clearly revealed from Old French manifest, evident, palpable. Now, this word palpable is interesting because this is something that a lot of brothers always say you can feel it in the air. You can feel something in the air. When we look at the word palpable, as an adjective of a feeling or atmosphere, so intense as to seem almost tangible. So sometimes brothers, they feel it, man. You could like Phil Collins, you can feel it in the air. Sometimes you can feel it. You can feel that destruction coming. You know. So back to the word manifest. Latin manifestus, plainly apprehensible, clear, apparent, evident. Right. And how do we know these things? When we read. You know, it's clearly evident, and I have Isaiah 46, which says, "Remember this and show yourselves men, bring it again to mind, O you transgressors," which is us. The Lord is bringing back his men, right? Verse 9, "Remember the former things of old. I am the Most High, and there is none like me. I am the Most High, and there is none like me." And this is the point, verse 10, declaring the end from the beginning. Right? And from ancient things, the things that are not yet done, which is exactly what the word prophecy means, or prophesy. Saying, "My counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure." So everything the Most High wrote about, all the sweet and bitter things, it's going to come to pass, man. And he declared the end from the beginning, And it just so happens that GMS are the men that got the truth. And we can break these scriptures down from the apostles and all the going down. Right? Again, declaring in Hebrew is nagad, which means to be conspicuous, tell, make known, to tell, declare, right? To expound. So all these things, when we read the Apocrypha, Second Ezra, Isaiah, Daniel, all these different scriptures, we link it up precept upon precept, and it's expounded to us, you know, through the Spirit. Right? That was it.
I have a quick precept. And this comes to show you this was the ancient Egypt, but this also applies to Egypt today. This is Exodus 9:14. It says, "For I will at this time send all my plagues upon thy heart and upon thy servants and upon thy people, that thou mayest know that there is none like me in all the earth." You know, because what did the Most High say, man? There's none like me, right? It says, "For now I will stretch up my hand, that I may smite thee and thy people with pestilence, and thou shalt be cut off from the earth." And that's what Esau's getting, man. He's getting smited with pestilence. It says, and in very deed, for this cause have I raised thee up, for to shew in thee my power, and that my name may be declared throughout all the earth. And that's the only reason why Esau is raised up in the first place, man. Just to show the Most High's power. He didn't put anybody on a high pedestal to make you feel great. It just be like, okay, you're such a wonderful city, you know, you're so powerful, everyone should just, you know, worship you forever. That was never the case, man. Most High is doing this for his own sake. Because if that was the case, if everybody was made to rule forever, then there wouldn't be no need for a prophet to prophesy against you. You know, there wouldn't be no reason to go and correct our people. That's what people don't understand. Why do you think there's prophets out here? Why do you think there's people speaking up against the kingdom? Because the Most High is speaking up against the kingdom because there's a problem. Do you not see it in nature that there's a problem? Do you not see it in the way you have to live that there's a problem with this society? Do you ever think that these churches are set up and they keep speaking out of their mouth and not once have they actually clarified anything from you in the Bible? Why do you think these churches don't speak of end with destruction? Why do you think that? Because they don't want to think about an end. Because they're joyful in living in their lavish lifestyle, deceiving you, you know, making God as how they want God to be according to their will, not of the Most High. And that really is because if I was the Most High, man, and people are trying to bring you down to their level, man, I would destroy you too. You can't bring mighty power to your level and say that he's like this and he's like that. Who's you, man? You don't even understand yourself.
Yeah, but that's why it says, arise ye and declare that this is not your rest, because it is polluted, and Jake doesn't see that it's polluted. Man. Like these simple ass women, you go in there. I seen this one bitch's story on Sunday. She's filming some pastor talking shit on Easter, man, and he's just talking out of his ass, man. He's talking some bullshit, prosperity doctrine, man. You know, I'm just saying, God damn, man, this is like I don't know, man. In this society, if you can't see that this is polluted, man, you're truly like, as it says, gross darkness, man, over the people. Right? It says it will destroy you, even with a sword destruction. You know, and it's crazy because you're being destroyed every day. You don't even know it, man. You know, you're being destroyed mentally, you're being destroyed spiritually, emotionally, everything. Man. This whole society just lays you down. You know?
Right. Going in your side.
I got a quick precept here. This is Ezekiel chapter 36, verse 21. This is just going off the point what Brother Gabarba said on how you know, you shouldn't put the Lord on your level, and he's doing it for himself, right? It's for his glory. So it says, "But I had pity for mine holy name, which the house of Israel had profaned among the heathen whither they went. Therefore say unto the house of Yasha'Allah, thus saith the Lord power, I do not this for your sake, O house of Israel, but for my holy name's sake, which ye have profaned among the heathen, whither ye went, and I will sanctify my great name, which was profaned among the heathen, which ye have profaned in the midst of them, and the heathen shall know that I am Yahweh, saith the Lord of hosts, when I shall be sanctified in you before their eyes. So, when we come into power, or when we're saved, or scarcely saved, that's gonna magnify Yahweh Bashem Yahushai to the highest degree, man. Okay, and then that's gonna put the fear in these other nations to serve him once again, like how he should be served. Because through us, they're gonna have to serve Yahweh Bashem Yahushai indirectly. Okay, because they're in the kingdom, they're gonna be doing the laws. They're gonna know who Yahushai is. They're gonna know who King David is. They're gonna know who the saints are, right? They're gonna know what foods to eat and what not to eat. I'm not saying that they're gonna be perfect, right? They're not. We're gonna be perfect, but we're gonna correct them along that way, for his name's sake. So that's all.
We're gonna force them, basically the same way Esau forced you to be perverted, forced you to acknowledge wickedness and to actually stick to it, and then punish you if you didn't be wicked. Same thing we're gonna do to you in righteousness, man. We're gonna force it upon you, man. It's a what they have choices, right? You're in a, you say you have choice to do whatever you want. So why is there laws then? How come there's a law for the people? How come you can't walk around with your own made up law, man? Because you can't. You are forced to do something within somebody's box, man. And that's the same way the Most High is coming, man. He's gonna force you to commit to these laws, whether you like it or not. The same way we are forced to live in this condition, whether you like it or not. Go ahead and say, I'm not gonna work for 2 to 3 months and see how fast you lose your house, you lose your car, because you have to pay payments, man. That's not by choice, okay?
Yeah, well, that's why there's a saying, there's a legal saying called the law of the land. That's like, it actually goes back to a Latin term. So you have to abide as a citizen, which is being a slave, right? You have to abide by the law of the land. That's why it says in Romans 13, be subject to the higher power. Right? Because we have to function even as Israelites in this society. We have jobs, we have payments, we have bills, we have responsibilities, but the Lord chose us to prophesy against his kingdom. But everything else is the same. We got to pay our internet bill, we have to pay our phone bill, our rent, mortgage, whatever it be, car payments. So we have to abide by the law of the land. But like the brother said, man, you people think that this is freedom. The word freedom, it literally means dominion of the free. You people, you don't have a dominion, man. You're under dominion. That's why that stupid ass Edomite a month ago, when the brother asked him why do you need a license, and he's or I think he asked him what the word license means, and he was just saying, "Oh, we're free," just saying we're all free and all this shit. But why do you need a license? The word license means it goes back to the Latin. Basically, it means permission.
Yeah.
So someone like you're a child, you're not free. You're really free when you become a man, right? You have a disagreement with your parents, you can leave, And even under Esau's law, what is it, 16 years old, you can't call the cops on you because you're technically a man or you're adult, So same thing. We're like kids, man. We gotta ask permission. We gotta go get a car license. If we want a little business or something, we need a business license or permit. That's another fucking word, permit, permission. You need all that shit.
Hey, Ak, I got the word license here if you want it. The etymology of the word license, late 14th century, formal authorization, official permission, permit, privilege, says
privilege. So it's not a right, it's a privilege.
That's right.
Right? There's a difference. Like I'm gonna give you an example. I don't know, like in America, obviously some states is more harsh, but like let's say you have a charge for stealing or burglary or something along those lines. In the ancient world, you would have to pay that man back.
Yeah.
And it actually shows in the book of Proverbs that a man that stealeth, who is poor, you know, basically Solomon said, him I understand, you know, what's the paraphrasing, because he steals because he's poor, he doesn't have anything to eat. But in this kingdom, man, they'll damn near cut off your arm, man. You know, they give you a record, when you come out, hard to get a job. You know, you might have a hard time getting a license, getting a permit, whatever it is you need, getting a loan, because they check back and they say, okay, you have this record and this, but according to our laws, those like I'm gonna give you layman's terms. A man that steals, you know, and a man that commits adultery, who gets out? Who gets charged and who doesn't?
That's right.
Right? But which law is more severe to break? Right? So Esau's a devil, man.
Right.
Piece of shit.
Yep.
It's crazy because you go to jail for stealing, but you won't get jail for doing fornication with another man's woman, man. You wouldn't get none of that. But in our law, that's being put to death for, man. And then in the stealing, like the Aqua was saying, you just have to pay him back. And most times, the poor, they had nothing, man. And that's why also in our laws it said they were supposed to leave food for the poor. He said don't leave food for nobody. Hey, they have extra food. They're throwing that in the garbage. They're not leaving that for no one, man. You know?
Yeah, Khan. I got the scripture. This is Proverbs 6:30. It says, men do not despise a thief if he steals to satisfy his soul when he is hungry.
Yeah.
But if he be found, he shall restore sevenfold. He shall give all the substance of his house. So he doesn't go and do 10 years, you know, and then comes out and has a hard ass time, you know. And then verse 32, but whoso committeth adultery with a woman lacketh understanding. He that doeth it destroyeth his own soul. You see, and that's the spirit right there. So that shows you adultery obviously is a sin unto death.
Right.
Thievery is not, but in this kingdom, it might as well be. They can get you offended.
That's right.
You know, Esau has all these different laws and shit. I'm not talking about Canada. I'm talking about like in the States, but even here, man, you know, depending on what province, Esau, he'll throw the hammer at you, man.
And to add, most of it does actually lead to death because in America, if you get catch stealing, especially you're a Jake, and the police roll up on you and you start running, 9 times out of 10, laid out, man. They've already shot like 7 bullets in your back. You know, so stealing in this society really can lead you to death depending on the situation. Okay. So
yep. And I had this going in line with what we're talking about. This is Wisdom of Solomon 6:1. It says, "Hear therefore, O ye kings, and understand, learn ye that be judges of the earth, ye that be judges of the ends of the earth. Give ear, ye that rule the people, and glory in the multitude of nations." And the Most High always has men ruling over other men. You know, in this society, your elites, your oligarchs, have fooled you dumbass people to thinking you're free. That there's a thing called democracy, which people don't even know what the hell the word democracy means.
Right.
You know, but you people think you're free, and that you're just running around. The very fact you have a government shows you you're not free. You know, you have someone to answer to. It's called the government, Revenue Canada. Okay, you guys get that letter every year. You have to answer, man. You're not free. Okay, you're slaves. You're slaves with privileges, Miss People, and your privileges can be revoked at any moment. You know, just like in jail, right? That proves that, man. Don't you have a maximum security lockup? And then you got PC, you know, you got benefits and privileges and shit. You know, you have men that are locked up for 23 hours and get 1 hour out of the day. Then you have men that are more free. You know, they might have TV, they might have a phone. You know, they might have different privileges. It's the same thing in this society, man. Some people are more free than others. You know.
Right.
Verse 3: For power is given you of the Lord, and sovereignty from the highest. Who shall try your works and search for your counsel? And this is the scripture that proves that the Most High gave all nations their time. The Syrians, the Persians, the Romans, every nation had their time. They had their chance. And the Most High searched out their counsels. They were wicked. So that's why they're not ruling anymore. That's why America's about to not rule. Verse 4: because being ministers of his kingdom, ye have not judged aright, nor kept the law. You see, nor walked after the counsel of the Most High. Horribly and speedily shall he come upon you, for a sharp judgment shall be to them that be in high places. Like these types that came up years ago, and we told them they try to get us off the corner. We told them that the Bible is the supremacy of the land, and we brought out the point that when you go to court, don't get to swear upon it. And the cop said, he said, you have an option that you don't have to. You can say I affirm, or basically I affirm or deny. But in the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, it tells you that the Bible is the supremacy of the land. It's a supreme law of the land. That's in your own Charter of Rights and Freedoms that you uphold, right? That you're singing every morning in your school, "Oh Canada," all that bullshit, right? But you don't uphold any of these laws. Right?
Yeah.
Well, that was it.
Hey, did you say that in Habakkuk? Can I get that real quick?
Kind of.
That's a lot right behind them, man. Let me get that real quick. Habakkuk, it's 2 and verse. Yeah. You know what that scripture is? If not, it's and he casteth my words behind thee, or my law behind thee. Oh, yeah. Psalms chapter 50, verse 16 says, "But unto the wicked Yahweh saith, What hast thou to do to declare my statutes, that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth, seeing thou hatest instruction and casteth my words behind thee?" And that's what you guys do in the court system. You guys throw up the Bible and say, "Swear upon the Bible, tell the truth, nothing but the truth." But you guys throw the whole book behind you and start preaching your laws. Imagine, right? You throw up the Bible and swear by the Bible, so you have to swear by the laws and tell the truth. You guys are there lying.
And they say, "So help you God."
Yeah, so help.
Well, guess what? When you double, man, yeah, the Most High, he's about to have an assembly, man, in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, okay? And he's gonna plead with the other nations for his people's sake. And these nations, man, they're proud as hell. They're gonna, I'm sure they're gonna come up with all these excuses and all this bullshit. And the Lord is he's gonna show you every which way you were wrong, man.
Right.
And messing with his people.
He's gonna come to be the judge, man. What did he say, man? And the books were open, man. Most High's gonna come and just lay down the charge. He said, "You're guilty for this." Has your rap sheet, da 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 da. And what makes it worse, you nation is not gonna have a lawyer. You're gonna have no deal. You're gonna have nothing, man.
It's merely a sentencing.
Gun. You're gonna be stuck. I had another precept. This is Sirach chapter 10, verse 2. "As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers, and what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein." And you see the spirit of Esau rubbed down on the people in the society because they take after him. Esau's a base man and he just lies. So guess what the people do, man? People don't come up to us with any facts. They don't come up to us with any knowledgeable certification for the scriptures. All they do is just say, "Whoa, you're wrong and you're going to hell." And then when it comes down to the end all be all, when they can't speak and they're confounded, what did they say? "Oh, you're following a book that's been changed over thousands of years." Well, hold on. Esau keeps changing his laws, but you still hold fast to it. How many times Esau this law to that, the gun law, this law, laws in school?
Well, that's why these laws in America are called amendments. And the word amendment literally means to mend, to bend, right? To change.
Right.
So all these laws, they're amendable. The laws in the scriptures are not amendable. It tells you in Hebrew, the Lord is the same today, yesterday, and forever, man. He changes not. Right, and Micah too. Matter of fact, since I'm in the book, real quick, this is Micah. What is that? 3. Damn. No, I don't got it. Bring it up. Whatever you have.
I got a precept. This is Galatians chapter 5 and 13. "For brethren, ye have been called unto liberty. only use not liberty for an occasion to the flesh, but by love serve one another, right? Because in this society, they'll tell you that liberty is to do whatever you want, right? Or have YOLO, or you only live once. And how do they bring forth liberty in the society? It's through their laws, right? But we know through his laws, the liberty that he gives you is really death. So the liberty that you're supposed to have is the scriptures, right? But it says here, only use not liberty for an occasion to the flesh. And that's what you see in this society. They only use liberty to fulfill the lust of their carnal needs, right? That's why it's not illegal to, that's why you were talking about earlier, it's not illegal for somebody to commit adultery. You know, it's not illegal to what's it called? Go away from a woman when she's on her period, or etc. You know, those are just little examples on showing you how this society views liberty on the left-hand side. You know, so,
That's right. That's right.
that was it.
The period thing where you know, you just taking like the transit, you don't know how much women you're around on the period, man. That alone, man. It's not like they have separate systems and they built it like, okay, this is only for them for when they have this. When Isa doesn't build a system to help push the scriptures forward or mend it, man, because he's totally against it. You know, he'll push the little, doctrine to keep you pacified, but at the end of the day, his liberty is for you to do whatever you want, so that way you can be destroyed along with him, because he knows it doesn't matter if he even tries to be righteous. He's done, man. So he doesn't care, and he wants to take Jake with him, man. If his goal is as long as Jake is eliminated, then they're safe. So called, man. I have a quick precept if no one has anything.
I just have the Malachi 3 and 6. I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. Right. So even the Lord, what was it, 2 Kings 17? He cut Jake off completely, man. You know, he cut off Israel, which is Ephraim, and Judah. But even then, he gave us a chance to send Yahushua to bring us back. So that proves that the Lord does not change, because he had that covenant from Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. And no matter how pissed off he was with us and how much hell he put upon us, he always gave that spirit for us to preserve, make it through, and thrive. You know? Right? That was it.
I got a precept. This is a 2nd Ezra 9 and 9. Says, then shall they be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments, for such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me. You know, you're too busy in the world, you're caught up with a good fancy job, you have a nice woman, you're able to take vacations, whatever the case may be. You might be ahead of in the politics and feel that you have some kind of power. You take those type of benefits and the riches of this world and not really get to know your power. It says, and they that have loathed my law while they had yet liberty. And like the brother expounded, man, liberty is being able to do these law, statutes, commandments to the best of your ability, man. Having faith in them and walking in them. Okay, that was your liberty that was given upon you. It says, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it. The same must know it after death by pain. So you guys are gonna have to know how to walk in these ways after your death, man. And you're not gonna go out with a simple shot to the head and it's over, man. You guys are gonna have to suffer painfully while coming out, and to be honest, your brain probably can't even think how the Most High is gonna make you guys lay out, man. Especially for the worst of the worst, whoever they are.
So that says my thoughts are above your thoughts. That's right.
That's right. It says, verse 13, and therefore be thou not curious how the ungodly shall be punished, and when, but inquire how the righteous shall be saved, through whose the world is and for whom the world is created. That's why at the end we're not stuck on 2/3 Jakes, man. Because the Most High said not to be curious how you're gonna end. We just know that it's gonna be in a very ill way, and our focus is on trying to awake as much of the hopeful elect as we can. You know, that's ultimately our duty. It says, then answered I and said, I have said before, and now do speak, and will speak it also hereafter, that there be many more of them which perish than of them which shall be saved. Like as a wave is greater than a drop, man. And the Most High said it. He said, I will speak it also hereafter, that many more of them which perish.
People around you, right? Because when you look at the scriptures, what we're doing right now is actual liberty. That's freedom, right? Because why? We're helping liberate our brothers through love, which is the word.
Give me liberty or give me death.
Sorry, Salakia?
You know that saying they say, give me liberty or give me death.
Yeah.
Well, your liberty is death, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but like this society, like we're giving our brothers love, right? We're telling you who you are. We're telling you that you have a power, you know, and that he's going to come back and save you because he is the law. So, you know, Yahweh Shai himself, he's coming to give you liberty through his presence, man, when you see him. All right. The word in the flesh is coming back, man. All right.
Hey, Hawk, I got the word liberal if you want. Break it down. This is mid 14th century, generous, also nobly born, noble, free.
Yeah. Nobly born. Aren't you Israelites called Yasha Allah? He is the prince of the power. That's a noble, highly born. Okay, so technically you're supposed to have the laws, okay, of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. You're supposed to move on, but right now you're not really acting like princes, man. You're acting like the prince of darkness under the so-called white man, because he is a prince of darkness, because he goes back to the Duke. If you go back and read Genesis 36, the Dukes of Esau, the royal family of wickedness, that's how you want to be, man. All right. Yeah, but it says
precept. This is Jeremiah 2:21. Yet I had planted thee a noble vine, wholly a right seed. How then art thou turned into the degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me?
Yeah, and that's he planted a good plant, man. Okay, and a plant
in Hebrew, right? Just to get it more.
All right.
The word noble is sharach, sharach, which means choice species of vine, choice grapes.
Yeah, a choice. Yeah, so basically a choice species. So basically Israel is the chosen to receive this law. All right, because you have many other trees in the Lord's garden, right? You have all these other nations, but what were they not given? They weren't given the law, statutes, and commandments. So technically they weren't made to be free, if you really look at them, because they're supposed to be subservient unto you through the law, through Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. All right. Yeah.
Quick precept just to back up what you just said for the law. This is Second Ezra 5:27. And among all the multitudes of people, thou hast gotten the one people, and unto this.
Man, I was just looking for that.
This is Second Ezra 5:27. And among all the multitudes of people, thou hast gotten the one people, and unto this people whom thou lovest, thou gavest a law that is approved of all. You can break it down, bro.
Oh, yeah, he gave. Yeah, because
you can go to verse 24. Start at 24. Actually, no, 23, because it gets
Okay, come.
It gets gritty.
Okay, come. Chapter 5, verse 23. And said, O Yahweh, that bears rule of every wood of the earth and of all the trees thereof, thou hast chosen the only select. Thou hast chosen the one only vine, and of all,
God. And that's the one you read in Jeremiah 2:21. Being a noble people, right? Like the bar is getting into. So that's the proof right there that the Lord is a favorite. He favors people. You know?
it says, and of all lands of the whole world thou hast chosen thee one pit, and of all the flowers thereof one lily, and of all the depths of the sea thou hast filled thee one river, and of all the builded cities thou hast hallowed Zion unto thyself, and of all the fowls that are created thou hast named thee one dove, and of all the cattle that are made thou hast provided thee one sheep.
Hey, so what the hell are people talking about? Well, the Lord, you tell me He made all these people, but He chose one. You damn right.
Yeah, God. It says, and among all
Hey, that's a lot. It's like you gotta put them in perspective. Like all the flowers, one lily. How many flowers there? All the lanes, one pit. So out of all the depths of the sea was filled the one river. You know, it's just showing you, man, out of everything, out of all these nations, out of how many people there are, man. If brothers ever travel, like if you really ever travel and see so many different people, you really can't get the full meaning of it. You know, because there's also by traveling and doing much experience and Apocrypha, there's a lot of people, a lot of cultures, a lot of things happening. You know, oh, this nation did this, and out of all that, the Lord chose one people, man. That's a very, and we're gonna fully know that in the Valley of Jehoshaphat.
Right.
You know, in the wilderness, when the elect are on top, and you see all these nations bowing down, and the Lord showing favor to you, hey, that's when you're gonna feel special, man.
Right. It says, and among all the multitudes of people, thou hast gotten thee one people, and unto this people whom thou lovest, thou gavest a law that is approved of all.
Yeah.
You know, so basically, there is no law better than this law, and no law of this law. It doesn't matter what nation you are. It doesn't matter if you're in power. Why? Because the Most High already know what's a pro and what's a con. He already knows what's going to bring destruction and what's going to bring life. And he put everything that brings life into one law and give it to one people. So anything you do outside of this law will only bring destruction. You can't create a law that's better than this. You can't create a system that works better than the way the Most High created the system. He said he's perfect and all his ways are perfect. That means everything he put in man to write his words down into to give life, man. You can't trump this. That's why Esau is having such a problem trying to create life, trying to be the creator, trying to create all these laws where it works and doesn't fail. Why do you think Esau always has to keep changing his laws and fixing this, and this is a bug, and then you have computers that they give errors and they give viruses? Because Esau is not a perfect man. And the Most High is showing you that he's not a perfect man because he always has to look at the roads that he creates. He used what do you call that? Cement for roads, and they crack, they break. There's potholes. He always has to fix them. That comes to show you that that's a man that can't get the job done once, man. And you have a power. He did everything done. You know, so like yeah.
Okay. But I just want to say, you know, even as corrupt as this society is, or its judicial system is, it's still molded after Mosaic law.
Yeah.
Right, and it just shows you the Lord is still ruling, right? Daniel 4:17, because like when you go into a court of law, you have a judge and a lawyer, right? And the lawyer has to speak on your behalf, and that's exactly what we go through. You know,
when the priest, that's what the word tribe Levi means. That's where the word Lord comes from. La Yah,
exactly.
Which means join unto me. You know.
Yeah, and you know, but you know, even if Esau he wants to move away from the Lord, he still has to copy some type of thing that's biblical. You know, and it just shows you he's a defiled leader, man, and he's a counterfeit, right? And it just shows you that Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, his law and his ways reign supreme. I don't care anywhere you go around the globe, man. you're going to see some type of resemblance of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai's law, whether it is corrupted or not. You're going to still see it.
That's funny you said that when we went to Ottawa a couple years ago and to Parliament, and you go inside, right? Or even outside, all the architecture, they have scriptures they quote, man, from Psalms, different statues. In Winnipeg, right? The Parliament, I believe, in Manitoba. They have the statue of Moses up in there, the Ark of the Covenant. Like, they have all these different things, and like you said, it doesn't matter if it's corrupted because it's a damn Edomite or whatever, or they might have horns on them or some shit, But the point is the archetype, the architecture, the foundation, the idea. They know where the power lies. That's why even in one of the Indiana Jones movies was based off what? The Ark of the Covenant. They were trying to find the Ark of the Covenant. That was a bad movie too. When they opened that up, man, it was missing everyone up. It was destroying everybody. And they knew that was that true power, that technology, so-called technology, which is just the power of the Lord. And they were searching for that the whole movie, So the brother's 100% spot on. Everything in this kingdom, the Masons Foundation, the Illuminati, they know that this is the true power. But what they're dealing with is like in a mirror. They're dealing with the opposite, the left-hand side. But it tells you in the Apocrypha, the Lord has created everything. As a matter of fact, I'll get that scripture. This was Sirach 42, 42 and 24. Right, it says all things are better one against another, and He has made nothing imperfect. So everything is perfect. That's why people say, "Oh, so Jake is that." It's not Jake's fault. It's leadership. But like in that movie Boys in the Hood, he's like, "There is a God. Why do you let motherfuckers get smoked every night? Why is there a war? Why is there like all this shit?" And Jake asks those questions, but it's they go to the pastor, and what does the pastor say, man? I don't know what he says. He's eating some fucking ham and telling you fucking some bullshit. Talking about pay your tithes, but those hard questions. Where do you go after you die? Where do you I know I thought about when I was a kid. I said, what happens after? What happens in eternity? And you have these deep ass questions, and there's no answers. Right, so after a while, what happens is there's a power. That's why it says they have a zeal, but not according to knowledge. There's a power, but you're going off, you're sinning, and you're not caring. But at the end of the night, you do feel bad because Dick has a conscience, man.
Right.
Like even Tupac in his songs, he said, "I can't sleep because all the dirt makes my heart hurt," but he was still going off hard, man.
Right.
But that's all Jake. All Jakes go through that because again. The zeal, right? But the Lord created everything, and He created the wicked and the righteous, and it has to be, that way. It completely has to be, everything has to be synchronized, man. Right? That's like saying, "Oh, I just want 24 hours of sun. I don't want the night to come." Well, you can't have it that way,
Yeah.
I have a quick back when you said that. This is Proverbs 11:1. A false balance is an abomination to Yahweh, but a just weight is a delight. That's why you have the forces of the wicked and the righteous going back and forth, because the Most High hates an unbalance, man. Because if there's light, there has to be darkness. Just like you have your hot seasons and cold seasons. Sun shining, and then you have the time where you're in darkness, man. So it's the same thing. We're playing out. You're having good and evil going back and forth with each other because they have to exist, man. They have to coexist. They have to weigh out the balance, man.
Antagonist and you have a protagonist.
Right. Like a magnet. You have the north and the south, man. You have the south and the north, and they together. But if you have a north and a north, they rebel against each other. So for things
like magnet, opposites attract.
Right.
That was it?
Yeah, that was it.
All right, this is Sirach 33 and 14. Good is set against evil, and life against death. So is the godly against the sinner, and the sinner against the godly. To look upon all the works of the Most High, and there are two and two, one against another, right? So it says all the works of the Lord. So the Lord created Satan, and he has Satan do his bidding,
Right.
you know. So it all works that way.
Right.
So you people in your bitch ass feelings, man. You guys, man, you guys gotta get out of that.
Like you said, like he.
These feelings, I feel like these feelings will fuck you up, man.
Oh. Was it? Was that it?
Come on.
Yeah, I was just going to ask what you were saying. The point when you said Satan, right? You have Satan that does the most bidding, does the evil, gives you the plagues, gives you sickness, and then he has Yahushua that heals you, tells you the truth, and builds you up. So that right there is the balance, man. You have the commander for the healing, and you have the commander for the illness and the sickness, right there, man, on both sides.
But even the Lord kills his own, man. Was that first or second time the Lord kills and makes alive?
Yeah,
you know, the Lord authorizes the spirits that lie. We know that in the Book of Kings. You know, the Lord authorizes angels to kill.
Right.
You know, so again, Satan is just an angel of the Lord. He's not some all-powerful being that actually fights against the Lord, like you people believe, man. He has a sword in his hand. He's fighting Michael. You people are completely bugged out of your minds, man. I'm talking about you Christians. You know, because when you ask, like, let's really think about it. You go to the pastor and you ask him, okay, I hear everything you're saying, all the good stuff and all this shit, but can you break down Revelation 12? What is he really going to say? What is he going to do? Well, you know, those are mysteries, and we haven't gotten them yet. We're waiting for a prophet to come and break it down, you know? Well, guess what? The prophets are here to go pass it on down, man. You know?
Right.
Because at the end of the day, right, Satan could never fight against the Most High because guess what? The Most High is his power source. You take away the hey, we're the example of what happens when you rebel against the Most High. He was giving us power, and then what did he do, man? He took the power source. Now look at us.
That's right.
So,
pull the plug.
Yeah, he pulled.
Like Samson, remember he said my car is in my locks. If I put it out, then basically I'm gonna have power. He took the woman, the harlot. Right. That's why he cut his locks. So that's the same thing. The Lord, you know, he pulled the plug. And once you pull the plug, there's no more current.
Yeah, that's right. So just that bugged up philosophy of saying fun and Most High is already squashed off of that alone, man. You could never try that, man. Because that's where he's getting power from. Yo, that's like having an Iron Man suit that makes you all powerful, and then you come out the suit, and you start fighting the suit that protects you. Your power, man. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna do that. Can I get a precept real quick? Isaiah, since we're going into the Lord, you know, creating both Isaiah 45, and I'm gonna start at 4. No. I'll start at verse 3. And I will give thee the treasures of darkness and hidden riches of secret places, that thou mayest know that I, Yahweh, will call thee by thy name and the power of Israel. For Jacob my servant's sake, and Israel my elect, I call thee by thy name. I have surnamed thee, that thou hast, though thou hast not known me. I'm Yahweh, and there is no power beside me.
Right? You guys Israelites, you're the noble, right? As the scripture says, even though thou hast not known me, right? Because you know, I'm Haitian, or I'm Mexican, or whatever, you know.
It says, I am Yahweh, there's none else. There is no power beside me. And I just really want to quick. That comes to show you that Esau himself is getting his power from some unknown source on the left-hand side that just is sitting there, man. All that power that he's getting from the left-hand side is still created by the Lord. Okay? He said there is no power beside me. So any type of power structure that you get is from the Lord, whether you do it in righteousness or wickedness. Okay? There's no opposite.
In Second Ezra's Wisdom of Solomon 6, power is given to you of the Lord, right? And sovereignty from the highest.
Let me see.
I girded thee, though thou hast not known me, that they may know from the rising of the sun and from the earth that there is none beside me. I am Yahweh, and there is none else. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, Yahweh, do all these things. So when you see little Tani run out in the street and a car hit him, that wasn't an accident. Okay, Most High created that evil, because evil goes back to evil is bad.
Hey, you know what? That's thing I was meditating on the other day too. But how the ancient world was different. Like in this kingdom, you have your family. Like, let's say you have a family. You guys have your functions and shit. You have your cousins, your aunts, your uncles, nephew. And in the ancient world, right? People commit adultery, you kill them. A rebellious son, you kill them. In this kingdom, that shit is slides right under, like, greased. But imagine in this kingdom you did that. A part of their family might look at you now because you killed one of those. Like your cousin, right? Like, let's say something happens with your cousin and you have to stone them. It tells you if in the book of Deuteronomy, if someone tries to entice you to worship other gods, you got to kill them right there. Right? Cool. Let's say something like that happens. In this kingdom, they'll look at it. They'll start being divisions like, "Oh, this motherfucker we killed." They won't think about the law. They'll think about their personal selves, how it affects them. That's why in this kingdom, like I said, like all these offenses that are in the law, they just slide by. Like, oh no, hey, we're just a family. We all have problems. A motherfucker may try to kill you, may try to shoot you, and then you guys are chilling at the barbecue. Your cousin might try to shoot you or some shit. You got a problem. You may see him at the barbecue, man. Or we're just doing different family shit. Mm-hmm. These things we learn in this piece of shit kingdom. Right. But the point is, the Lord is coming back. He's going to restore order. Right.
Right. And it just goes to show you, brother. These people, they have a warped, twisted mentality of what really liberty is, because you doing that's giving you liberty. It's not only helping yourself, you're helping the nation or people around you, because that person is going to go spread more negative energy now. Wow. But people don't view it as that. They just view it, oh, you hurt him. He died. Wow. They get emotional and sentimental over those things, when those things are good in the sight of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. And it makes the world a better place. I just have to say that, man, because it's true.
Right? It's true. 100%. Just back you guys up in the same chapter, verse 9. It says, "Woe unto him that striveth with his maker." Take all over it, man. They strive with Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and that's them forgetting love, like you said, man. If you have a rebellious sin, you put him to death. They're like, no, I love my son. Like, man can try to kill you, but you still saying I love him. That's you striving with your maker, man, because you don't want to do what most say. Hey, man, that when you put a man to death, he might. Hey, that same child could start a whole rebellion against your nation, man. He can start a whole.
Yo, man, I know someone told me a story. An older guy I know, his friend, who's like in his 50s, he has a son now. He's probably like mid-20s, and he has some girl. He met some whore or whatever, right? But he started bugging out and basically being disorderly in his dad's house. And his dad, obviously, even though he's in his mid-20s, that's his dad's house. So he laid the law down, and the kids started fighting his dad, punching him and shit, telling him to fuck off, like, basically like running him up, man. I'm just listening to this shit. I'm just, God damn, man. Hey, that's the production of this kingdom. That parents don't matter. Your parents. That's why I even seen an ad for a movie about, I forget what it's called now, but it was something to do with parents. But it's like a comedy movie that's coming out, and but the whole thing about it is basically disorder unto your parents, man. And that's a big thing in this kingdom. I remember on the highways, like maybe 2 months ago, right before starting, you hear people's conversation. These two bitches were in front of us, right where the camp is, and they're talking. There must have been like 14 tops, 15, young. and the one girl's like, oh yeah, my mom called the cops on me last night, but yeah, you know, it was nothing. Like talking all this shit, like that fucking bitch and all this shit. I'm just like, that's prophecy right before your eyes, man. You know, like just completely disorderly monsters, man. So from that age, what do you think in 5 years that's gonna be? You know, I'm sure that's gonna be a very productive member to society, man, right?
That's right. Degenerate. God damn.
Yeah.
Hey, it goes into that. It says, woe unto him that striveth with his maker, the pot should strive with the pot shreds of the earth. Shall the clay say to him that fashioned it, what makest thou, or thy work? He had no hand. Woe unto him that saith unto his father, what begettest thou, or to the woman, what hast thou brought forth, man? These Jakes, these little children, man. Oh, what do you do for me? Shit. F you. You don't want to do what I want? You know, I'll fight you. What up? What is it? What is it? That's the Jake, man. All up in your face, man. Just because they don't like you setting rules in your house to keep things in order and safe, man. Jake,
Yeah, man, you know what a good example is Mayweather, man. If you notice his career, his father got him into boxing. His father and his uncle, right? Now, before, like maybe a couple years ago, he had a big follow with his dad. He really had a big follow with his dad his whole life, because when he was young, his father trained him. Then he went to jail, and he missed a lot of his years, like maybe 5-7 years of his life. Then he said when his father came out, he was already a champion, a world champion, when he was training, and he said, oh, we had disagreements, and he still tries to treat me like a child, but he'll take it to a point and try to fight his father. You know, there's a difference between having a disagreement. Like if you have a disagreement with your father and you're a man, you're in your 20s or 30s, right? You're a man already. You know, you have a disagreement, then you have to part ways, man. You can't curse out your father. You know? It comes in the law. If you it says a person shall be stoned to death if he curses his mother or father, right? And in this kingdom, that's nothing. That's like, again, hey, Gabar, that's like this family drama. You know, it's not viewed as something as that severe, but in the ancient world, man, you see how we had a real respect for people. You know, like people had a real serious respect, because if you said the wrong thing, that's what it says, right? Who can tame the tongue, right? For out of, even the Lord said, out of the mouth cometh all these defilements, right? So, and it also says in Proverbs, honor and shame is in the tongue, basically, right? So, you thought about what you did, you thought about what you said more than the world. In this kingdom, you can say you can say, type whatever the fuck you want,
right?
You know?
Hey,
because what is it? Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just saying, but you can see that prophecy, because now Esau's trying to stop that, because that saying whatever you want has gone too far, to the point where now that saying whatever you want is attacking him, and so now he's trying to and like,
it backfired on him.
Yeah, that dude is that.
But that's what it said. The net that he had set up shall be basically turned upon him, roughly paraphrasing. You know. He shall be caught in the net that he put up. But I had that was it on Isaiah, the barber.
Oh yeah, that was it.
I had Isaiah 40 and 29, pursuing back to the power, right? So this is Isaiah 40:29. He giveth power to the faint, and to them that have no might, he increases strength. Even the faint shall even the youths shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fall. Right? So young men, right, in their 20s and in your 30s, your testosterone is about you, and you have strength. But obviously, it's you're still men. So that's why it says, even the youth shall faint. But verse 31, this is pursuing to spiritual power. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. Right? And the word renew, in the precept right here on the side, it says Hebrew change. So the Lord shall change their strength. And how is it going to change their strength? In spiritual bodies, right? They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. You know, like Usain Bolt, he can run, but he can't run forever.
That's right.
You know, he'll get faint. He can't do all these things. So the baddest fighter on the planet, they can't do all things. But it says they that wait upon the Lord, man, the Lord's gonna change their strength. You know, that's a beautiful thing that we're waiting for, and we truly believe that we could see it, we could feel it. You know.
Right. And that's why we brought up that scripture earlier when it says that people shall be willing in the day of thy power. Because you know, they're gonna be like, oh, they're gonna start to be groupies, really. You know, they're gonna start, like they're gonna want. You know how Jake is when Jake sees someone having.
Well, remember that in the New Testament, the Jews seek after a sign and the Greeks after wisdom.
Yeah, come
right. Because imagine if the Lord, you know, the Pharisees ask, okay, show us the sign or something, and the Lord does a miraculous work at that time, you know, and he shows forth all his power, and they believe. But that's only because they've seen it, right? But that's why didn't he say to one of the apostles, I forget who he asked, but he said, "Blessed are you for I believe it's the one where he asked, who am I? And he said, you are the Son of the Most High. Forget what your pause. I'm going to look it up 1 second.
I have one in the Apocrypha if you want it.
1 second. Yeah, bring it on 1 second.
Okay, this is 2nd Ezra chapter 1 verse 37. It says, I take the witness, the grace of the people to come, whose little ones.
John, I got it. This is John.
Con.
It's lucky.
Oh, good.
It says John. This is John 27 or 26. And after 8 days again, his disciples were with him, and Thomas with them. Then came Yahushua, the doors being shut, and stood in the midst, and said, Peace be unto you. Then saith he to Thomas, Reach hither thy finger, and behold my hand, and reach hither thy hand, and thrust it into my side, and be not faithless, but believing. And Thomas answered and said unto him, My Lord and my power. Yahushua saith unto him, Thomas, because thou hast seen me, thou hast believed. Blessed are they that have not seen, yet have believed. And many other signs truly did Yahushua in the presence of his disciples, which are not written in this book. But these are written that ye may believe that Yahushua is the anointed, the Son of the Most High, and that believing ye may have life through his name. See? And he did so many signs that it tells you in the last chapter of John, I believe, that there could be no books that could contain it.
Yeah,
right. But that was the point. So, you know, blessed are they who have not seen. We haven't seen the Lord. We grew up in this society, this backwards ass society. But the Lord, he gifted us the gift of faith. You know, because it is a gift. You can't attain it. You can't work on it. You know, you can only get it, and the Lord could add it unto you through things you go through. You know, and start to believe more and more. And you know, it's not like an attribute. It's not like you gain muscle or you gain fucking. You know, it's not like that, man. You gotta be. It's really a gift. You know.
Right. I can bring on this precept to add on to what you were saying. 2nd Ezra 1 and 37 says, I take the witness, the grace of the people to come, whose little ones rejoice in gladness, and though they have not seen me with bodily eyes, yet in spirit they believe the thing that I say, which is faith. You know, because it takes faith to in the spirit to believe the things that are said in this book, and Yahushua not being here to actually manifest it physically for us, man. And it comes to show you that that's valuable above actually seeing the work and then just believing, that comes to show you that your loyalty is strong, man. That means when you do see it, you're gonna stick that much more because you believed it without it ever being shown you. It's like these celebrities, right, in the world, right? They believe that they can make it, right? And then when they actually do make it, what happens, man? They work 100 times more. They stick to what they're doing that much more, man, and they value their position. So imagine that you had the faith this whole time. You never seen the Lord, but you believed on him, believed on his name, believed on his work that he can do. When he comes, set you near him as an angel, man. You get the spiritual bodies, man. Your faith is going to be that much more keen, and you're going to be when it comes to you being in that position. Why? Because you always believed on being in that position, and when you're finally there, it's like nothing can tear you away from it. Fuck it.
I got a precept here. It says Hebrews chapter 11, verse 6, but without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. You know, even though it's a gift, right? But you still have to have faith to please the Lord. And what is faith? It means believe. All right. All right. So you have to believe in what you're saying and what you're doing within this truth. All right. You have to believe that Yahweh Shem Yahushai is going to deliver you. You have to believe that Yahweh is going to get you through those hard times. All right. And let's just say if you get caught up in those chastisement, like in the future within the time of trouble, because it is prophesied that, you know, some men of the Lord are going to die. Even when you face death, you still have to believe unto the very end. All right. And that's only and the only way that you can believe is through the Lord giving it to you. Right. Like you said earlier, it's a gift. Right. That's all I have to say on that.
This is I got two scriptures. This is Matthew 16 and 13. That's the one I was looking for. When Yahushua came into the coast of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, saying, whom do men say that I, the Son of Man, am? And they said, some say thou art John the Baptist, some Elias, and others Jeremiah, or one of the prophets. He saith unto them, but whom say ye that I am? And Simon Peter, it was Peter, and answered and said, thou art the anointed, the Son of the living power. And Yahushua answered and said unto him, blessed art thou, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood had not revealed it unto thee, but my Father which in heaven. And also this reminds me of the scripture in John, but the point being that it's a gift, man. The Lord has to grant it upon you. It's a very special thing, understanding this. This is John 3:27. John answered and said, a man can receive nothing except it be given him from heaven. So anything in these scriptures you cannot understand unless the Lord revealed it unto you. You know, even new revelations that come out, brothers that are getting it, you know, from the apostles and elders on down. You know, those things, if you can't get it at the moment, don't bug out. You know, don't say, oh, the Lord's not dealing with me, or just pray on it, man. If you can't see it, you know, or it might not be, it might not be for you, because not everyone is going to be on that same level, man. Right? Verse. Now I'm going to go to Matthew 13 and 10. And the disciples came and said unto him, why speakest thou unto them in parables? He answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. So again, the point being is it's given. For whosoever hath, to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whosoever hath not, from him shall be taken even that he hath. You know, brothers doing videos and brothers that don't do videos, man. And you can do videos. But some, you know, not everyone, again, is on that level, but brothers that can do videos and don't do videos. You have the means to do the videos and you don't. The Lord's just going to take that from you, man. You're not going to just sit idle with the talent, you know, like in the parable, and bury it, you know. Verse 13, therefore speak I to them in parables, because they see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand. And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which saith, by hearing ye shall hear and shall not understand, and seeing ye shall see and shall not perceive. For this people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing. Right? Because you see us on the highways and byways, you see the videos up there, right? But you don't understand it, you don't perceive it. You see it in whatever perspective you see it, you know, whether we're crazy, whether we're radical, whatever it is, man. You know, unless the Lord truly opens you up, man, you're not seeing it, man. It's like a vision, right? It says, and their eyes have they closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes and hear with their ears and should understand with their heart and should be converted and I should heal them. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. So that like I said, man, it's a spiritual thing, man. All right? For verily I say unto you that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see. And that proves no heathen is going to come up in this, man. The Lord is not going to give this to no damn heathen, man. You know, if a brother looks like an Elamite or a Moabite or a Edomite or a Hamite, he's a Jake, man. And he understands this, he's a Jake. Right. You know? It says, and I'm reading again, for verily, Matthew 13:17, for verily I say unto you that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them. Right? That was the point.
I got something to back you up. This is James chapter 2, verse 18. Yea, a man may say, thou hast faith, and I have works. Show me thy faith without thy works, and I will show thee my faith by my works. So, in order to show that you have faith, you have to go by the actions, man, and follow through, and actually do it. So, how do you do that? You know, you have to practice the laws to the best of your ability. You have to practice what you preach, right? And you actually have to listen, all right? Because a part of faith comes with listening to your elders and your apostles, man. The ones that have been deemed to teach you and build you up through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. You know, and that's another indicator that a lot of men don't have faith when they buck up against the order. You know, that shows that too. Okay, verse 19, thou believest that there is one power, thou dost well. The devils also believe and tremble. Yeah, these spirits, even these demons, and also these principalities, and even these people who serve Satan, they believe that there is a higher power out there. So even the ones who are not ordained to get this truth, okay, which I mean like you heathens, they still believe in the power of the Lord. And there's been many examples like that. For example, you have Rahab the harlot, and then you have Balaam and Balak, all right? The high witch, the sorcerer, who was supposed to put a curse on Israel, but then the Lord opened his eyes, which shows you the Lord gave him faith, all right? And then through his own way that the Lord set him up, he worked out his faith by telling the Moabite king that he's going to go into slavery. All right. So you have to have faith in this truth, man, and you have to show it. Okay. That's all I got.
Yeah, that's that scripture saying the righteous shall be bold as a lion, man. Put it in your face. Even when all odds are against them, they're still doing it because they have faith that they're not going to be able to touch them if the Lord's on our side. Then not also if the Lord be with us, then who can be against us, man? So we can speak the things we speak in front of your face and not feel a way about it. And Esau hates that because hey, isn't that not a diss to someone's face? Hey, imagine you're all powerful. You pretty much have the ability to put someone to death, and you can't put people, you know, breaking down your kingdom just by words to death or nothing, man. There's nothing you could do. It shows you that this society, the rule of the society, really doesn't have any power. Because back 50 odd years ago, 60, 80 years ago, we were to do this right now, we'd be hanged. We'd be on us, man, shot, tortured, whatever you name it, man. But now, all he can do is just stare and freak out.
Hey, I'm gonna bring this up and then we'll close on this. This is Job 13 and 15. It says, "Though he slay me, yet will I trust in him. But I will maintain mine own ways before him." And the word maintain in the precept, it says prove. So meaning, but I will prove mine own ways before him. And that's what the Bible you just saying, man. About showing it and doing it and to the best of your ability, man. It doesn't say in Psalms, I believed, therefore I did, something to that effect. You know, you know, and also says in or you read that in James, right?
Yeah, James chapter 2.
Yeah, Khan. You know, I was about to quote it, but yeah, man. You know, though he slay me, yet will I trust in him, man. So basically, you just gotta be, hey, till death, man. You know, but even after death, death is just a transition, man. In this kingdom, you're taught to fear death, man. But the Lord says, "Fear not the sentence of death." In Sirach 41, I think it's verse 3. You know. So, anyone have anything to bring out or say?
No, that was it for on my part.
Barbara.
No, that's it. That's it.
Okay. Khan. All right. So we like to say, Khan halal, la Yahuwah, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakak Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone, all right, that we learn the truth from, and salutations and blessings upon you brothers and you few sisters that take heed. We want to say, Kum Yasharallah.
Kwame Yasha Allah. Shalom.
Shalom.